promote cultural heritage, and ensure food security and strengthen community social services. How you can support: participate in community engagement forums and collaborate with local government authorities and the Ministry of Community Development. Come, let's build a prosperous Bayelsa together.
Let there be peace, all not for peace.
Courtesy, Honorable Alfred Belamonte Watson, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Community Development. The impacts of climate change are upon us, necessitating adaptation and resilient building. In Bayelsa State, the recent annual rainy season has brought severe consequences, including excessive flash floods and river flooding, causing untold hardship for residents. However, under the leadership of His Excellency Senator Doye Duri, the Prosperity Government has taken proactive measures to mitigate these effects. The establishment of the Directorate of Floods and Erosion Control, along with the strengthening of other related agencies such as the Bayelsa State Emergency Management Agency, demonstrates a commitment to reducing the impact of floods. To further enhance resilience, major blocks, canals, river outlets, and drainage systems are being cleared, and higher grounds have been identified in all 8 local government areas to provide safe havens during floods. While the government is dedicated to ensuring the well-being of Bayelsans, residents also have a crucial role to play by cooperating with government agencies, staying alert to flood warnings, maintaining a clean environment, clearing blocked drainages, and reporting challenges to relevant authorities for prompt action. Through collective efforts, they can bolster our resilience and effectively combat the challenges posed by climate change. Stay safe. Courtesy, Office of the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Environment, Honorable Ebi Ben Olulu.
Every ripple starts with a single drop. In Bayelsa, that drop is the Education Development Trust Fund Board EDTF. From the moment a child...
Hello there, jolly good morning to you. Thanks for keeping it with us on Naija Live Television this Wednesday morning. My name is Henry Ahamwivila. It's now time to check out the papers and find out what they hold this Wednesday morning. And we'll start off this morning with the Vanguard paper, which has as lead story, petrol marketers keep high price as crude drops. That's the first story you get on the Vanguard paper this morning. The writers to that story have retailers should adjust price, says attendant. Regulators must intervene. Petroleum price NG says that, and market forces are to determine price, says Petron. This is as transport fares rise by some 50%. That's what the Vanguard is reporting this morning. Well, very close to that story is that around alleged graft and El Rufai being charged. Malami's family being evicted from Abuja mansion. That's the story you get on pages 7 and 9 of the Vanguard paper this morning. On page 8 also has a story around 2027 with the Southern and Middle Belt leaders demanding zoning of presidency to South. And ADC, Labour Party leaders want Southern presidency as well. So the ADC, Labour Party leaders say they want Southern presidency. Even the Labour Party particularly have zoned it to the south, and so they will be getting presidential candidates from the south, the southern part of Nigeria really. Away from that, I check above the nameplate the story around the federal government apologizing to Nigerians over poor power supply. That's the Minister of Power there. It's been epileptic lately, and during the apology, it's a function of poor generation of power. And there's also a story there on page 18 of the Vanguard paper with the Minister of Finance there saying beyond the red carpet, what Nigeria really stands to gain from the UK visit. Just as they put it, beyond the red carpet, the UK state visit is investment in Nigeria's future. That's how he put it. coming from the Minister of Finance there. On page 10 of the Vanguard paper, the Ozoro Festival also makes its way there. They're asking a question: is it a festival of fertility or festival of harassment? Festival of festivity, fertility, I beg your pardon, or harassment? A question. And there is also Ibori who is saying no rape festival in Isoko Urobo. That's on page 10 of the Vanguard paper this morning. Presidency battles Ndume over alleged plans by terrorists to overrun Borno and Northeast is also a story you get on page 26 of the Vanguard paper this morning. Inspector General of Police names new Lagos CP, moves Jimo to Zone 2. Well, check out the story. Zenith Bank appoints Kennedy Okudili as executive director. He's also on the Vanguard paper this morning. Away from that paper to the Daily Sun paper, and close to the nameplate of the Daily Sun paper is a story around 2027 with Labour Party saying it won't field the northern presidential candidate. That's Nenade Usman saying that as they have thrown their door open for interesting aspirants, but they say they won't field a northern presidential candidate. And World Bank also has made its way to the Daily Sun paper with a revelation into why poverty reduction efforts are not working in Nigeria, even as federal government plans to lift 50 million out of penury. How exactly do they intend to do that? Well, mayhaps the Daily Sun has more into that for you this morning. APC Convention Committee clears Yil Walster, Ajibola Duru. Others also get nod to contest party positions. Aspirants institute 100 million naira suit against party. Well, someone had said that typically when it's time for position and all of those politicking, there'll definitely be some sort of bickering. Now, it's how they manage this bickering and looming internal party crisis that will determine exactly what their victory, whether they will have victory, come 2027. But clearly, the bickerings are here, and there is already an aspirant who is instituting 100 million naira suit against the party, and this is of the forthcoming convention, right? Okay, check out the story around Dati Baba Ahmed, who is telling Tinubu that Nigeria is worse off than in 2023. He's the presidential candidate the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, and he is telling President Tinubu, is telling Nigerians that we are worse off than we were in 2023. That's before the president took over the mandate. On insecurity, Southwest stakeholders meeting in Abeokuta. This is as federal government plans civilian demining teams to tackle IED's threat. Pages 4 and 26 have that particular story. 4 die in Ijebu-Ode Ore Expressway. 1 killed, others injured as tanker crushes tricycles in Ibadan. Stories around accidents on page 4 of the Daily Sun paper this morning. What are the reasons we're having these accidents? Typically, accidents happen sometimes a function of bad roads and poor driving, overspeeding. But what's the reason for this particular one? Let's check out the story when we get a copy of the Daily Sun paper this morning. Page 4 has details of that story. Federal government targets March 31 reopening of Enugu-Onitsha Expressway. The Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, one of the roads that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu decided to really do work on. This is a road that before now had caused several accidents, and well, they are counting March 31 reopening. That the Minister of Work saying he has directed the controller to ensure that on or before March 31 that road is opened or reopened. Check out the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Justice Salami is saying above the nameplate, it says Obi ought not to contest in 2023 presidential election. Justice Salami, on page 4, he gives details into why he thinks Obi should not contest. He did so as he lambasted several judges and justices saying that, well, the profession, the law and legal profession, has been so much infiltrated that even registrars or chief registrars are made to become judges, and well, this makes for miscarriage of justice and makes for, well, according to him, people who are incompetent to be assuming positions of, a judge. Well, on Peter Obi, he's saying that as that when Peter Obi went to the Labour Party to seek to be their flag bearer, the PDP, yes, had primaries had been concluded, but the Labour Party had already submitted its register to INEC, even while the PDP primaries, before the PDP primaries, held. The Labour Party had already submitted its party register before they gave a membership card to Peter Obi. So, well, he's saying constitutionally, Obi ought not to have been a flag bearer of the Labour Party, and went on to say that several cases that were instituted challenging that were thrown out, and it ought not to be so. He ought not to have been the presidential candidate or even run for election in 2023. That's coming from Justice Salami right there. On 2027, or your PDP candidates to emerge April 8th, that's coming from Makinde. It says, or your PDP candidates to emerge April 8th. On page 3, there is that story. Also, it has riders, automatic tickets given to serving reps, first-time assembly members. That's coming from him also. It says he won't leave the PDP. And only 51 candidates for 2027 polls. And also, a final decision on platform to be made April 15 at stakeholders meeting. This story is something you can get when you get a copy of the Nigerian Tribune, just so you know. On page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune, you have that particular story. Some of the stories we're bringing you these Wednesday morning are also contained on our Facebook page, Naija Live TV, across all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X. All right. Do check them out. TikTok as well. Do check them out when you get on these pages. Alrighty. The major story on the Nigerian Tribune this morning is around parties. That's the Inter-Party Advisory Council wanting indirect primaries restored. There is something this story does to me. It makes me remember a joke that was told. Was it sometime in 2023 when they said they asked a kid what he wanted to be when he grows up, and he mentioned that he wanted to be a party delegate. A party delegate. Or what's the reason for that? Clearly, many had suggested it's because of the plenty funds that would go down that period. There is parties who are saying that they prefer the indirect primaries, and they think that this could spell them, come 2027 with just direct primaries and consensus candidates. Already in some quarters, we're already seeing that problem of consensus, where someone says that Osun State, they pick a candidate. The other persons who are saying that this candidate you've picked is not a consensus candidate. How exactly do you intend to, insist on a candidate being consensus when there are people who are saying it's not consensus? What's the process of making a candidate consensus? All right, and the next is direct primaries, which could be very, very expensive, for most political parties to adopt, and many of them would just be adopting consensus, which also could bring about a lot of court cases, a lot of dissenting voices as well. They also insist on amendments to the Electoral Act as INEC's updated guidelines review party registration, merger, deregistration, and campaign expenses. Well, the story you get on page 3 is one I've already taken. Court remanding Erifai and his bail application hearing being set for March 31. And there's also the writers of the story that's saying his son is leading supporters to Kaduna Court in show of solidarity. Well, it's a story you get of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. On health, meningitis outbreak worsens in northern Nigeria, says NCDC. Meningitis outbreak worsens in northern Nigeria, says NCDC. New Telegraph paper, APC National Convention threatened as aspirant heads to court over alleged exclusion. They say. Also, defendants served at party secretariat given 30 days to enter appearance. These are riders. Party targets 10,000 attendees, 740 delegates to vote. And Masari leads venue inspection. Shatima receives Zamfara Governor Lawal supporters into APC. These are stories of the New Telegraph this morning. Nigeria's Jet A1, that's aviation fuel export. Nigeria's Jet A1 export doubles as 3-week earnings hit 343 billion naira. Is a story above the nameplate. On the Middle East crisis, Nigerians will continue to pay more for fuel as oil jumps over $100. Oil jumps over $100, and there is this report that Nigerians will continue to pay even more for fuel. And also right as to that story, Israel, Iran continue attacks. Trump's approval rating plummets. In the US, Pakistan offers to mediate end to hostilities. Pakistan offering to mediate an end to hostilities. Hopefully that comes true. But these are stories got off the New Telegraph paper this morning. And real quick, I'll leave the paper to check out the Business Day paper, which has a late story. Nigeria taps tech to put decades-old port bottleneck to bed as they unveil first phase of national single window to fix transaction delays and boost trade. Liquidity surge drives OMO comeback despite investor retreat. Stories of the Business Day paper this morning. The Daily Trust paper reported on parties. Parties move against Electoral Act. On 2027, Labour Party zones presidential ticket to South. We already have that. And they're also offering some sort of insight. What you have to know, what you need to know about the new HIV prevention injection. We took that yesterday, right? There is a new HIV infection prevention injection, right? And so the Daily Trust this morning are offering an insight into what you need to know about it, right? U.S. to send thousands of soldiers to Middle East is also another story that's contained on the Daily Trust. And there is also revelation into what the federal government can do to bring down petrol costs. This is most likely an opinion piece or an editorial. Well, what the federal government can do to bring down petrol costs. The Daily Trust has that story also this morning. Away from that to the Daily Champion this morning, Electoral Act, the way they put theirs, IPAC insists on urgent amendment ahead of 2027 polls as INEC unveils draft guidelines for political parties. Defense review seeks input from stakeholders as Labour Party zones presidential ticket to the south. Amid price hike, Navy seizes illegal fuel consignment, arrests 8 suspected oil thieves in Rivers State. Information Minister says this morning on the Daily Champion that federal government is making substantial progress in fight against corruption. And check out the story, FCT to get major urban overhaul as Wiki engages Japanese firm on master plan review. Check it again, FCT to get major urban overhaul as Wiki engages Japanese firm on master plan review. Federal government unveils plans to lift 50 million Nigerians out of poverty by 2030. There's also another story that's contained on the Daily Champion. What are the plans like? You might want to take a review of that, right? And check out the Daily Champion paper this morning. Land grabbing. Kaiser raises the alarm over heightening land scam in Abuja. Calls on FCCPC to protect Nigerians. The functions of FCCPC, yeah. Do you believe that they've been carrying out these functions like they ought to? Do you think that they have been effective enough? The FCCPC, a Consumer Protection Commission, have they been effective enough? This is, Kaiser raising alarm and calling for the FCCPC to protect Nigerians. Do exactly what you were commissioned to do, right? Okay, away from that real quick, I'll check out the Daily Monitor paper before I come back to the Sporting Sun. Well, the Daily Monitor real quick has a story around Adeleabo apologizing and promising improvement in 2 weeks. That's the power outage story, and the Minister of Power making the apology there, promising an improvement in 2 weeks. I like to draw an attention to the power outage that has been experienced outside of well, in Nigeria, right? Yes, we have power outages in Bayelsa, but I like to think that in the past few days, it has not been representative of the several statements that the PhD has been making on their Facebook page. They've been making several posts on Facebook that they're having problem with purchasing electricity, purchasing power from the Gencos, right? The discos are complaining, PhD and other discos are complaining that they've been having problem with purchasing that. But I mean, we've been seeing some sort of power around here. It's making some persons suggest that maybe they are trying to check out some of the the new gas turbine or something. But yeah, I know that it has not been reflective of what the PhD are saying. We're getting some sort of power supply. I mean, this morning around the Pole area also there was power supply, right? So one would wonder, right? But away from that, to some other story around the federal government reaffirming education reform drive and seeking private sector backing. The story on meningitis is also on the Daily Monitor, and there is also that story around INEC unveiling draft guidelines for political parties, that is of the 2027 election, right? All right, let me check out the Sporting Sun real quick before we call it a wrap on the papers this morning. Super Eagles coaches arrive in Antalya. That's ahead of the discharge from hospital following the surgery he had done. Vinicius is to get new Real Madrid deal. That's a story also the Sporting Sun is carrying. Mbappe refutes what is it called now? Mbappe refutes unsure injury rumors, and Dorogo pictured training. That's also a story you get on page 2 of the Sporting Sun. Tudor to leave Spurs by mutual consent. Man United coach to cough up €100 million for Fermin Lopez is also a story that's contained this morning on the Sporting Sun paper. And that's where the curtain will fall on the papers this morning. We'll bring you the Globe in View in a moment. My name is Henry Ahamwifla. Do get the papers to get abreast with some of these stories. Have a nice day.
It's down to a nutritious meal. So today, a scientist steps into a brand new laboratory. EDTF is there, turning challenges into opportunities. 5,000 meals served daily in our model boarding secondary schools. Biological sciences laboratory equipment delivered to Niger Delta University. 1,000 teachers and school leaders trained with the British Council. Special education teachers graduating from Ignatius Ajuru University under EDTF. Scholarship research grants fueling innovation in our state-owned tertiary institutions. TVET, science labs, water facilities, culinary kitchens and clinical labs springing up across Bayelsa. Vocational scaffolding trainings and a computer-based testing center at UAT Tororua. These are not just projects, they are ripples that spread across classrooms, communities, and the entire state. But a ripple grows stronger when more hands join the water. So whether you're an organization, or a corporate partner, or an individual who believes in education, you can be part of this ripple. Support EDTF and help us expand Ripple. Donate, partner, or volunteer today. Together, let's transform our educational landscape. EDTF, building futures and putting smiles on faces.
Good morning and welcome to the Globe in View on Naija Live Television, reaching you from Bayelsa's capital city, Yenagoa. I am Henry Ahamwifula. In the news, Bayelsa government charges civil servants on adherence to civil service rules. Inspector General of Police orders strategic posting of senior police officers. EFCC defends selling of properties linked to Abubakar Malami. U.S. claims progress in Iran talks as Tehran denies negotiations. Now, if you're looking to boost your brand through paid adverts or sponsorships, we're ready to partner with you. You can reach us right now via call or WhatsApp on our studio line on 0812 934 0000. Better still, for physical consultations, can visit our head office at number 122 Mbema Yenogwa Road, Amarata, Yenago, Bayelsa State. And also, don't forget to stay connected with us. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, and X, and TikTok at Naija Live TV. You can also visit our website at www.naijalivetelevision.com. And now the news in details. Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doye Deri has paid a condolence visit to the former Speaker of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Tonye Emmanuel Isina, who is also the General Manager of the State Housing and Property Development Authority, over the death of his father, Pa Dubade Isina, who died at the age of 80. The governor, accompanied by top government officials, described the deceased as a good man who served his community, the state, and the nation, noting that he lived a fulfilled life and contributed to development. Governor Dewey extended condolences on behalf of the state government, praying for comfort for the family and urging them to be consoled by the legacy of the deceased. The Bayelsa State Government, through the Civil Service Commission in collaboration with the Office of the Head of Service, has charged civil servants to be proactive and adhere strictly to service rules to ensure efficient service delivery. The chairman of the State Civil Service Commission, Perekie Broboefa, gave the directive during a joint inspection of ministries, departments, and agencies to assess compliance with work ethics. He expressed concern over widespread non-compliance, particularly lateness to duty, warning that erring officers would be sanctioned. The chairman urged workers to uphold punctuality and professionalism, stressing the need to study and comply with public service rules as a guide to accountability. Also speaking, the head of service, Wisdom A.B. Sawyer, reaffirmed that government would not tolerate indiscipline and called on workers to remain dedicated and proactive in their duties. He noted that the government remains committed to improving workers' welfare through prompt payment of salaries and pensions, regular promotions, bonuses, training programs, and other incentives, as well as the ongoing construction of a 9-story secretariat complex to provide a conducive working environment. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Olatunji Disu, has approved the posting of senior officers to key positions across Nigeria Police Force to strengthen operational efficiency, leadership capacity, and service delivery nationwide. A statement by Force spokesman Anthony Placid said the directive is aimed at reinforcing an effective command structure through strategic deployment across commands, formations, and departments. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has justified its action in sealing properties linked to former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, stating that the move was backed by valid court orders and in line with existing laws. The clarification follows public debate over a report that EFCC operatives sealed properties allegedly connected to Malami, drawing legal and political reactions. The Commission maintained that its actions are guided by judicial pronouncements and its statutory mandate to investigate and recover proceeds of corruption. And outside our show, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has declared a national energy emergency, citing the impact of the U.S.-Israel conflict with Iran as an imminent danger to the country's energy supply. The declaration comes as transport workers, commuters, and consumer groups plan a 2-day strike over rising fuel prices and what they describe as the government's slow response. President Marcos said the emergency measure would enable authorities to implement coordinated actions under existing laws to address disruptions in global energy supply and their impact on the domestic economy. U.S. President Donald Trump has said the United States is making progress in efforts to negotiate an end to the war with Iran, including securing a concession from Tehran. Speaking at the White House, Trump stated that Washington is engaging the right people in Iran and that discussions are ongoing, adding that Iranian authorities are eager to reach a deal. However, Tehran has denied that any direct talks have taken place, with Parliament Speaker Mohammed Bakr Kalibaf dismissing such reports as false. Meanwhile, reports indicate that Washington has presented a 15-point proposal aimed at ending the conflict, with additional sources suggesting the United States is seeking a one-month ceasefire to facilitate discussions on the plan. And that concludes the news on this app. Before we go, a quick reminder that Naija Live TV is officially open for business. Whether you're looking for ad placement or strategic sponsorships, we are your #1 partner for reach and impact. You can reach our studio line via WhatsApp on 0812-934-0000. Our doors are also open at our head office at number 122 Mbiama Yenagoa Road, Amarata, Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. For more updates, follow us on our socials and also visit our website www.naijalivetv.com. My name is Henry. I'm with now. Thanks plenty for watching.
It's on. Yes, so Ijo Youth Council Worldwide (IYC) Resurgence Mission 2026 don't come o. Now tested leader, a seasoned administrator, and strong voice for Ijo Nation. Barrister Ayibakro Igbeta, PhD, former legal advisor of the Ijo Youth Council Worldwide, former SA Media and Publicity to MD CEO of NDDC, former SA on Youth Affairs to Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, and Naimi currently Secretary General Bayelsa State Center for Youth Development. In vision, they very clear: unity for the council and protection of Ijo people rights for all Naija Delta. The support for Transition Security Initiative and make government put better money for Naija Delta agencies, plus opportunity for all Ijo youths for inside job matter and development. Yes, so time is for us to select the correct secretary wey go pilot the affairs of the Ijo Youth Council Worldwide (IYC) 2026. Oh yeah, make we quick vote Barrister Ayibakro Igbeta, PhD, for Secretary General Ijo Youth Council Worldwide. Vote wisely. Ado Alua Onua.
One of the problems we have in Nigeria is that it's difficult to have solid metals for creative engineering. So what you basically have in this country are tubes for building of houses and erection of structures and all that. But when you come to real metals that you can carve to engine block, metal that you can carve to a shaft or gear, there is nowhere to get in this country. So a country that does not have a shop for metals to cut can never develop. If we had shops where you can go and buy all kinds of grades of metals, it would be easier for the young to get the metals and come to a place like us, and then we will carve it for them, cut, bend, and then do all that. This country will develop. But we don't have. We have to look at China or any of those countries to bring those things to us. So that is the story of Nigeria.
Z-Team for high-tech precision engineering. A technology and heavy-duty industry.
Very much. You want to buy from over track and boom. Even about talk about.
Master. No, Pamela.
Pamela get married.
Pamela get married.
I'm talking about Pamela.
Hey. Hey. Damo imo. Fia ya que manum feminino. Hey. Damo imo. Nana ya que manum feminino. Ada ban sura.
Tulume ya brimio. Tulume ko tulumo. Tulume de grama. Era Pamela. Akala wonu be la. Abamo. Aboba setulu afa. Tell me to me. Aboba setulu e ka bi fie. Abamo. Mama ma de ya mama ba ko da ba. Setulu zuru pole me ma nimu we ba na ko aboba setulu afa. I me. I never am able. Cleaning it. Abama unit me. Messy able to have a move. I don't want to have a man like a lad.
Mama, take a say, Brahma. We saw you can eat Sarkin, it's all on you, Pamela.
Coco, you say Bobarme. You mind me told was a kind of make it Zimmy and say Bob, but even said the bomb.
Oh, every day. No, Mamma could have said that man come with them, yeah, but I could say if you can say Bobby Bram for I don't know. Eh?
Get sick, baby, won't mock bang, Abba. You must be Mamma say when we need more. So long, but a fact. Oh, so local.
Every day.
Ebois.
I know that I'm marking my fevers of say I'm new. I'm into my get my blob on round the way. I'm gonna get into my eh, I found me about talking.
Ula para kakapa me. Amara moruma inako karema. Ula para kakapa me. Amara moruma inako karema. Ula para kakapa me. Amara moruma inako karema. Ula para kakapa me. Amara moruma.
Atunaka. Why ma pai why me yarabo say pitch me rim. Can you to your master the crom fa? I could best me so go to my me to my so by say crom bram. Akpa na me to my say the crom opeu. To bo.
Back pa o. Back besepa. E yo mo mra me di to bo ma eh. Amra pnasi. Kelsi. Bien toi de si. Oh. Krabaye de me yo ma me yara sakre say the day. To bo. E ba mra kpiri di mo me eh. To my nearly got father.
Otobo. Abo. Amana ni gbala say do to barma. Emena ni ma. Bu yo crowd de mena abarela la kare.
Number men torbo ko gba men ko. Torbo adawar mi. Spago no won wara so nra number men geto. Asala one.
Beseme. Wamani me man tume. E ma kobe yibo. Zinene ya bili yawo. Ye po am go second me.
Ko e ko mi tak me gbere ga bi dot me. Yebo. Mi se ni o ma mi se be konsi me. Yebe ntebe kompam no motu barista gba ye ga de me ne. Torare yebum beri ko na yebum ba temare yebum bo bra ga pa mo.
Oko bese yebo do ko yebo
no ma ye.
Asala one.
Otobo.
Pamela! Pamela! Benio ke mam do menio. Ye met me sinaba. Bua min lao. Namen. Ba min la dese. Ba dia beni farese. E bubu malam ne ba dia. Nam. Back mo.
Brava. Mnabo.
Mnabo.
Asiyodo budeo. Anea ekra firmo uzubere bra yeke yare amimi.
Oh. Uzubere bra ka iko amimi a. Ana siya kato. Eta. Ezo yi butarmo. Bukene yoto na ka prezi me. Oilani. Altarmo. Hey. Aka kilim ba kono ma.
Eyi. Kan ke zoyi ba kile de ka lamu papo gbese imunimu ai.
Bele.
Pega.
E wai budaya.
Budeo.
Sebe pa ma ya la kuro mu.
Oh. Ma blosikum sisi. Ewan mak mo zubere bara la zubere bara fai. Emu wara tun yo se disin ko fa. Ani ba pa bra ko kan wai bom brafa e freme yeme yike la kro meni. An go de ma kurut mi mbras la mo blosik mo.
Camila. Oi mbao. You become tau. Do. Gere ka ka to. So mu ife. So mu na ro ni fa mo fe.
Feye. Pa, feye. Meme kom kurum nesra. War my mi besem e ma benzu ben sineskom ye fem.
Ai. E dag babram keremi. E mini warado so de siria. E ye febri binege kre. Eni bin boko blozu.
Okay, ye figa ba.
Nu fa mi
Me akpo me setulu afaye. Me akpo me setulu ogun toro karewe miye nekeme babara numwer miye katimimbo manesigabo. Me akpo me setulu afaye. Me Akwa me setu kontoro karo mi ene kememba anu we ba ndego do me kro brago nu mama wa brasa for me brago to modzim
anu we modzi ya o ekra dim ne kwamela
Na ekra dim ne ko
me ne dim
Ataraga sele di rawama. Revo se dugba. Ado?
Slave do.
Ebe na arbo bari.
Tiba gba mo be nere numa. Asala one. Ba ma se ark pere den mo we yawo. Inumu ni mi.
Amara do. Ebe ni kene bikro mo tege ne biara me a.
Akpos. One bola it said if you say one bola.
Tika mo mo na brasi ni a.
Anu mo nya boy na to do ramwa. Ana ga piye ma.
You want me to bring some in fear don.
Abe do amu.
Salawa. Take na bodo mena.
Asalawon. Emi men bra me. Daw do yar bra ke mi no take pa mene yawo.
Ye daw do yar wala. E bidan. Meni ma swem wuri me. E daw do yar ke ma wala. E bidan.
Asalawan. Wait. Moi me gbebo ko bo. Gbebo ko me ma so wala me ma fa. Me gbebo ko ba ko bu. Me ya me. E ba yi ko ko ma ka bu. Ya yo. Me ya fa o.
Men bese nyina seka me. Men bogbo zeya. Men ma bore ma me men dolo bogbo zeya. If you say men gisi ba come down, come gisi ba dia me tan se men komboa.
Fletere. Bing baby are so sad modowa. Ari na men. Are so dowa. I wan maba buro wen na omu. Ari we
come. Ame kulu kuma to be nyina sei bodun. Me bore ni ma anu wait one Pamela go brumo wait we. Mine an go design blomatie. Give us a me say mom.
Arki mo se me say mom ma. Pamela ben ko yobo buni ma tik me ko wo som corner mu. Agbana kini zade werikumo. Ari werikumo. Bing baby are so dowa mo gbana kini zade bodo mu o. Imu abar wani emo.
Adi. Imu me ye care for krokokore.
Messi take him orurutima. Eba tugudu anamra ko fuko walu one serima. Yani odo walu one seri say sign back with fuwai. Ina bome ma passe. Menson week mendo morako yuludua. Ebi wembra mi mo we mo. Ezuzo ka gbe kromem. Tubaye mi entumo walu barakla emi eklimi go gba operemna. Tamara sisia ipalea.
Ama. Yepama.
Oh. Yepao.
Mati ala kare te pama.
Yepai.
Pamela. Ari numula mon mio. Yepai mo gba rebe. Ese fa o. Baba bo pai bi. O passe akene bo mo.
Ababa mango zinke mie na kriye fa. Ba to go de kwat metem.
Te abe bu aviera. Iyo. Baba be. Oni to baro disa.
Ende to boge ba mgbamna.
Pamela. Slebi.
Slebi gene no waria.
Iyo.
Emini ake bore ba mama ni o matimo. Ebi bro di warage. We buo. Away be mo. Manam go diario.
Pamela. Ari nun vio.
Oh, do I know why those way take a number?
Eh.
Amayama. Itekbo tekadeyo. Pasti si bom ne sak bukan sirikilakbo e wawa desra yo temi. E bunumorin dati me krime. Sisi ken ni fi potu kin go warko e poe bom.
Be você se eu tomo você se vai when wo vai ma poa if you você me eu mate ma ku kada yo me wo bali ma na le ke wo mi po kada es mora se tuma ma re rin se ba de me tin pon popa e ke ye fu popa e be você se ako se vai when wo ma bi desa ya na resra ya tare mutu in ba prema Sebra
Mesa.
Bre
Mesa.
Sisi bre ke bu Tu
Wabari me ma mi ya krim se ke bom.
Emene ke te mini Wan pani mi ma tsembra me Girido weekeme besa wo yo so wo bra tin akado Bob si ni boss in say me na kribra ni mu ami do na e do pe na ra e na ra me celebi ke na ra eni yo tuba asala one ke temen
Pamela ke na re.
Pamela Ari bi no na mi o mi do ka ma na
Inge frem for fair man fair mun.
Fi ana believe na Simon
Kuai nango yam kumi when fair woman.
e kre ba ka do sisia e kre ba pro sisia li e Simon sisia na sisia do
Ayin keme. Me madin me ye dimin bra me poe krom fa ke mi tik gbese na le mbra ko poe me ke gba ma o. Na mbra ke na na ria wer mo.
Ah boy. Man power ke lime. Ye na me gado.
Ye na me?
Ba pe ngero to mama mai mi. E na lem din bon wa pa in ba pra la gado.
Mr. Frank Bam.
Fake freedom like a far pie, I know who run do na. Mr. Bring back pregato.
Mr. Frank Bam may kill me.
So I'm out of there. But why I'm out of there?
And I read it. Mamma came to bone or man no more to bone, mamma to miracle to me, a yarn to bone. Take one Narek Bama.
To ma.
Eh.
For madam, no, mention. Matakrim. I to go to the bone, but Simon. Abi, what's trouble now?
Take a permanent Bama.
I mean, I buy your line.
A bit of ha, Bessie. Me, my Kurma Lakare, Bessie, me, my army to regular.
Ye mio. Eba, Chegodo me, Matman, Kurman.
A bit of